Welcome to the Ball at All Costs podcast. Another week, another reason to be excited. Episode 49. Can you believe it? We have Tom McDermott of TM Development, our special guest in the building, all the way from Liverpool. How you doing, Tom?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. And of course, we have our esteemed panelists, Degenio, aka The Bundler, aka Deji Spurs, aka Van Helsing. And of course, we have OC, nice and simple. The contrast, guys, the contrast. Another reason to be excited, we have a fun-packed show for you today. And we've had some hiccups along the way, so I know this is going to be a special show. Guys, if you've been locking in each week, I'm going to give you the option. I'm not going to tell you to do it this week. I'm just going to say, if you want to, you can subscribe. If you like, you can give us a like, a notification, and leave a comment. And if you're listening on the audio feed, you have the option to follow us, leave a comment, and leave a review. It's up to you. My son told me to say it that way. He's hoping we'll get more subscribers. I'm not so sure. Guys, episode 49. How are we? OC, how are you this week?
Me, I'm good. You know, the football's flowing. There were no waterlogged pitches or frozen pitches, so my boy got out there in his new boots, and they got a good win. We went to your old patch in Walthamstow. Ryan, and I won't get into the scoreline, but it was heavy. It was heavy.
Hey, it was heavy. Hey.
Let's move that on. Let's move it on.
I did bump into your. I don't know. Is his name Andrew as well? He's got like an A on his jacket.
Alex.
Okay, yeah. So I bumped into Alex and we had a good chat. And I think his son is onto something quite good as well, just in terms of his progression in the game as well. So shout out to Alex, and hope that all goes well with his son.
Yeah, shout out to Alex, shout out to H. Let's fingers crossed for them. Opportunities all the way. Degenio, how's your weekend been?
Yeah, the weekend's been good. Finally, it's been nice to be back. I have to say, I'm loving the kids' football more than I'm loving the adult football. As I won't talk about my club because we don't do that, but they're an absolute disgrace. But as for my son,
it's in your name, Dej. It's in your name. So.
But as you know, my son has been playing for district, got probably minimal minutes. He had the least amount of minutes for his district side, but came on. We playing Lewisham, got the assist, and then scored the winning pen that sent the borough through. So we're through to the next round. And that means we've played 2 South London boroughs in Greenwich and Lewisham. And we'll keep going around. Hopefully we get Wandsworth next or something, and then just start ticking the box there. And then in relation to the weekend, it was a tremendous game. We played a team that we've never beaten. Arguably, probably the most famous teams. So many followers they take at one stand of my club. And the boys did a job there. You know, they got a victory and they came away with a clean sheet. So as for me, I am riding here on cloud 9, and long may it continue as we try to get to warmer weathers and we start getting into the Festival Cup. But as you can see, I'm very buoyed, I'm very giddy, and I'm looking forward to a fabulous end to the season. And I just have to say, and I just want to big up Andrew. And Andrew is probably one of the most modest gentlemen, but I've grown to love this guy. He's my brother.
Thank you.
Since his son has left, he's left a gaping hole in that team, and it's not been the same since. So, Andrew, wherever and whenever, bring him back so that we can just stabilise the ship.
Hopefully, never.
I'm not joking. Yeah.
The plan is he's never going to come back. That's the plan.
He's not coming back, but it's clear that he's missed.
I understand. It's not just him though. There's another boy's on trial at the moment, so a lot of change. It's not plug and play. It's not Football Manager, so these things do happen. But he's looking at the results and he's not happy. there's still a part of him there. So
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. But can I just say, you sent 2 subtle digs. Before we get to Tom, you sent a subtle dig to the district manager. Your son needs more minutes. He's coming on doing bits. And another shot at South London. We had shots at South London last week and more shots at South London this week. I don't want to get into a war with South London.
It's not. I have you say these are not shots. These are facts. I'm just stating fact. But you know what? We need to call. It would be a pleasure. I feel like this kind of north-south divide is too much. And why can't we at Ball at All Costs bring us together? And then I'll be sending for Tom and Merseyside on this show tonight as well. So so it's all good. Tom's not having it. He's unmuted straight away.
Let me get into this.
He's ready. He lives for this. How are you doing, Tom? So you can see what kind of episode you've joined tonight.
Yeah, good. I like listening to you because it's good to hear from yourselves, and I know what I mean. It's mad in it because we're all in the same country, but we live so far away. And how you play football, and I used to be a district coach as well, so I used to do West Lancashire. So I used to do under 12 girls, so I understand about all the district football and trials and why has that son got in and why has my son not got in and stuff, and do you know what I mean? It's part and parcel of it all, but I do understand this.
So what would you do, Tom, if the boy you had on the bench came off the bench, changed the game, scored the winning penalty? Would you start him next week?
Yeah, got to. You can't do that and then put him on the bench. What's he going to get out of that? Do you know what I mean? How are you meant to develop him when you're going to put him back down? Do you know what I mean? It's like Liverpool with Chiesa, isn't it? It's the same thing. Chiesa's always on the bench, coming off the bench, and do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely mental. But for his own development, which is absolutely brilliant. I probably would have when I was younger. I probably would have came up to the manager and smiled at him after scoring and winning the game for us. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? It's all about development, and good on him. Good on the lad.
Okay, no, thank you. And I'm not digging out the district manager at all. I mean, he's doing the best job he can. He's got so many boys. I think there's about 25, 26 boys. So the district is quite big. And one of the things that he's keen to do is give some of the boys maximum time. And because I think he prefers kind of like the bigger, stronger boys. And my son's not big or strong. But hopefully, he did enough in that 20 minutes or 15 minutes to show that maybe he does deserve a start moving forward, and we'll see what happens, But, so far so good. The districts are doing well. The two boroughs, Lewisham and Greenwich, they're fantastic boroughs with some fantastic players. A lot of academy boys, and we've got a district where, we've got 1 or 2 academy boys, well, maybe 3 or 4, but not as much as some of the other districts, and they're performing well above their station at the moment. So, it's interesting. They're in the quarterfinals now, and quarterfinals. Hopefully, I think it's Barking and Dagenham next. Cough, cough, because they're just down the road. So that would be a nice feisty affair, and I'll look forward to reporting back on how that goes. And then we'll see how far they go. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I think football is definitely one of the things I see in the grassroots game. No doubt, we talked about it just last week. It's truly a game of opinion. What someone else sees, someone else doesn't see. And I guess that's just the nature of the beast. Some people prefer physicality over technical. Some prefer technical over physicality. Some prefer antelopes. It really is whatever you want in your bag.
I'm going to stop you there. On one of the shorts I posted last week, I said Deji's on a rant. And I'm going to stop you on your rant because we've got a guest on the show. We haven't heard from a new voice. We've never had a Scouse on the show before. So let's hear that lovely Liverpudlian accent, shall we? Yeah?
Big up.
Yeah, nice one. I really appreciate you getting in touch with me, and it's an honour, do you know what I mean, to be on your show. This is one of my first, well, it is my first podcast I've ever done, so I'm really appreciative. And yeah, I'm excited. My wife always says to me that I don't stop talking when I speak to parents, so it's probably the good thing going on something like this, because I love me coaching, and I've got a real passion of course, boys football with my sons, but with girls football is where I like to push them and develop them. And our girls who play for TM Development are really good girls, and they're climbing very high, and they're changing the girls football. Of course, the women are doing it with England Lionesses, but in grassroots terms, these girls are achieving something which is just mind-boggling. Do you know what I mean? They're playing under 13 girls playing in the under 14s league. They've not lost a game. It's a high level league, and they're just bossing it. Of course, how we play football is a lot different to some grassroots teams, but like I say to the girls, you can 1v1s, you're probably not going to get round them, because they are physical, strong girls. You know what I mean? They're bigger than you. They've got a year on you. But if you play football how we play football, they won't get near you. And these are the little things you need to do. You can take a player on, but you're not going to take another player on at this level. You've got to be quick. You've got to be thinking. You've got to change how you play football, and it's got to be that quick into touches and move past the ball. Do you know what I mean? You can't be individual.
No, I agree with that. Sorry to cut you there, Tom, but we had our own Tom on last week, and he actually highlighted something similar to what you're saying there. He said where you've got that kind of size difference, he said a 1v1, well, a 2v1 is an extension of a 1v1, right? So if you have that size disparity and you can't go one-on-one, or it's not wise to, or it's smarter to go 2v1, just do that. There's nothing wrong with a 1-2. Get around the other side of that player, that big physical player. They will go with the ball, you go the other side and you get it back. Simple as that.
I don't mind the 1v1s. Of course, it's part and parcel of football. But what we try and educate the girls is that when we're not an individual team, we're a team of, we work hard for each other. Even when you lose that ball, we win it back as fast as we can. But in terms of individuals, we try and take that not off them, because we don't want to, but we want to look for that pass instead of taking that player on, or can we find a different solution than 1v1s. But like again, we got the girls to do them 1v1s, but we don't want them girls doing the same thing over and over again. Do you know what I mean? We don't want that.
Yeah, no, I understand. So where is this footballing philosophy coming from? Is this something you did as a youngster, or is this just your coaching style? Tell us about your football journey before we go forward.
So my football journey, it's like your sons. Like, I was playing district football, playing for my town. I was a really good footballer when I was younger. I had trials with a few clubs.
You can say them. You can say the names.
Well, I was at Wrexham for a long time. My dad was taking me to Wrexham. He was coming out of work just to take me to there. My dad done a lot for me when I was younger, taking me to places, making sure that I was going to train and going to matches. But like, I think I was only playing a Sunday. Like, if you look at the grassroots now, you're playing, some kids are playing twice on a Saturday, twice on a Sunday. I was only playing one Sunday a week and training on a Wednesday. which is just absolutely crazy. Like you didn't even have a one-to-one coach. That we didn't have a one-to-one coach 5 years ago when I first started. Football when I played is completely different to the way it was now. So my background was all about playing for my Sunday team, getting notices, playing for my town, then playing for my district. So playing for my school as well was a big factor. So when I was at Wrexham, I was there for a while. Really enjoyed it. And I was probably better when I was younger. So when I was like 8 and 9 to 10, I was very, very good. And I felt when I got a little bit older, I sort of come away from football, stopped enjoying it. And I felt like that players caught up to me. So I sort of probably peaked when I was 8 to 9 to 10. And then when I got to probably 11, 12, 13, I felt like other players caught up to me. And not say I didn't like it, I got jealous, but I knew that when I was that age. I'm still a very good footballer, but I just knew the levels that they was on, because I had trials at Bury, which, you know what I mean, it's not a top team, but when I went to trials there, they had kids from Ireland, they had kids from Scotland, and it was unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? The football, I was like, wow. Do you know what I mean? I was trying to get the ball off them in midfield, and I was like, I couldn't even get near them. So I knew my level. I'm not one to say I could have been this or I could have been that. I knew my level, and that's what I'm trying to learn and help and develop the girls or the boys. Like it's what you get out, what you put into it, what you get out of it, basically. Do you know what I mean? And when I hit high school, I was more interested in going out with my mates, where I should have been concentrating on football. But football was a lot different back in my day. Do you know what I mean? We did, like, I trained once a week. These kids are training 5 times a week. Do you know what I mean? They got something. They got places to go. I ended up going on the streets, messing around with my mates, chasing girls. Instead of chasing football. Do you know what I mean? And that is the truth. So, in terms of how I coach, I have got a lot of background in disappointments. And when I got released from Wrexham, I went into school and I had a piece of paper with it saying, like, you've been released, and I got laughed at by kids in school, like laughing at me, saying, "Oh, yeah," it was like, and it hurt, of course. So I don't even know why I even took it into school. Probably just trying to show off that I did actually play for Wrexham. Do you know what I mean? Because you're just a kid, aren't you? And I think it really hurt. Of course, I would never get bullied or anything like that, because I knew I could handle myself. But I think in terms of getting released, and I thought I was on that level, but clearly I wasn't. Do you know what I mean? And my dad's never ever said, like, oh, my son's this, my son's that. My dad's always been very straightforward with me. Even when I was young, he was not hard on me, but he was straight to the point.
Did your dad push you, or did he just support you?
He supported me very well. Like I said, he took me everywhere I wanted to go. I think if my dad was me now coaching my sons, or where I think my dad would push me even further and support me. But I just think that the time when I played football I wasn't better. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't the way the kids was. Now my football was sort of, how can I explain it? If you see Liverpool people, if you see like the Gerrards and Rooneys and how they tackle people and how they try and win the ball back, it's like live or die situation, trying to get the ball back. That's how I play football. I used to love a tackle.
And you said you played midfield,
yeah? Yeah, played in midfield, and do you know what I mean? And yeah, so I like my football. You know what I mean? I played for my districts. I played at a good level, but I wasn't academy. I wouldn't never say I was academy footballer because I didn't do the years in the academy. Do you know what I mean? Of course, like now I'm a academy coach, which is really good. But for, like you said about my philosophy, I don't know where it actually came from. I feel like I'm a sort of watcher. I see, like, I'm not saying I see, like you say that about opinions. I feel like I see things on a football pitch where, of course, I pick things out in my head and go, why would you do that? Or why would you do that? And like, I would do it like this. And that's even like looking at Premiership games. And of course, I'm never going to be a Premiership. Well, hopefully one day I might be, but I still look at our Premiership games. We were speaking off air before about the Van Dijk situation of how Liverpool, how they play football is through Van Dijk. It was a game a couple of weeks ago where Van Dijk was actually in the penalty box waiting for the header, and Liverpool was passing the ball around waiting for Van Dijk to get back to the centre circle and then to start the football off again, instead of getting the ball to the byline and trying to get Van Dijk to score the goal. Which, that's like, in my head, of course Slot has the reason behind that, but for me, he's the target man, isn't he? So the biggest thing to do for Liverpool is getting that ball in the box. But that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like I see things a lot different, and like yourselves, you probably see things watching your own kids. Do you know what I mean? And I think in terms of grassroots, I feel like I've got a very good eye to how I want to play football as well.
Is that what got you into coaching?
Guess when I got into coaching, it was sort of, it was lockdown. My two boys was, I think he was 4 at the time, and he just got into the first training sessions. He got into the training, and of course, if you watch any under 5s, they all just run together, don't they, trying to chase the ball down. So I thought, I can't have my lads doing that. I need to sort of help them and guide them, and so I just started to take them to the local field and started doing a little bit of coaching with them, passing, trying to control the ball on inside foot, and then sort of running with the ball, moving the ball from your outside inside foot. You know what I mean? Just getting used to getting the feel to the ball, and I'm not trying to say they were trying to do like different skills, because I'm one of them players. I'm not a coach. I'm not into skills. So I was just trying to educate them, and then I started doing a little bit more one-to-ones with them. And at the time, I was going through quite a lot with me ex-girlfriend. I moved into a flat with I had no furniture. I was in a dead-end job, and I ended up basically spending a bit of money on me equipment. I didn't have no equipment, so I didn't want to say I was going to try and do some one-to-ones with no equipment, so I ended up spending like £300 or £400 on equipment, and I started putting it out there. Like, I didn't think I would get anything off it, because I've only trained my sons, and then a few people started asking me, and then they asked me, can I run a football team, which I did. There was like under 6s at the time. I started doing a little bit of coaching with them, and then parents just started asking me, can you do an hour with my son, because your sons are coming on really well. So I was like, yeah, of course. Didn't think nothing of it, didn't think I was going to be this the way it is now. I just took things dead slow, and it just started building, and then I ended up making myself like a little badge, not this badge, but I had like a very cheap badge at the time, all proper, or like little lines, and do you know what I mean? It wasn't really a good badge, but it meant a lot to me at the time. Do you know what I mean? Like having my own little company and making my sons proud. I was going through quite a lot. With not like with the breakup, but I was finding life quite hard at the time with trying to deal with having my sons, trying to look after a flat where the wages what I was on wasn't paying me bills. Basically, I was in a bit of a rut at the time, and I felt like my sons helped me a lot. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where I would have been. Do you know what I mean? So I have a very close bond with my boys, and everything I do with TM development, my boys are always involved, even making the badge, picking the kit, going on tours, doing tournaments, every game. They're at every single game. My son, who's under 10s, he trains with the under 13s and he's a goalkeeper. Everything I do, they're always with me. I wouldn't do anything without TM development if my sons or my wife wasn't there. At the time when I did start TM development, I did meet my wife now, and for her to put me on the straight and narrow, like she means the world to me, like my kids do. She gave me the freedom to do things. They wasn't her kids, but she was minding them so I could go and do my football. And I was only with her for a couple of weeks, and she was doing that. You know what I mean? Wow. So hats off to her. Even now, everything she does is around my football. She's in with it as well. She helps me. She speaks to the parents. It's a very family business. I don't even like to call it a business because it's a community. We're all for one. Even the parents, the players, we're very all together. And that's what I wanted. I felt like at the time when I started TM, I needed like a close people behind me. Not to guard me, but just to sort of like, when I used to do me one-to-ones or I used to do coaching, it used to be like a release. I used to I didn't think about what was going on in my own personal life. That hour of coaching was my sort of, I used to forget everything what was going on and just focused on that training. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I've done loads more training just to keep my mind off things. But
let me stop you there, Tom. A second. I can see OC's taking himself off mute and he's got a question for you. But just shout out to Mrs. McDermott, first and foremost. Shout out to Twins McDermott and shout out to football, because I think football was healing for you. And I think that's very important. You documenting a time in your life which was difficult for a lot of people because it was that time in the world where we don't like to talk about. Then personally for you, you had other things going on, but football gave you that outlet, that avenue to take yourself away, and then also build this business, this community, which is TM development. So I know he's got his question. I just want to know at which point TM development became TM development.
To be fair, it was my kids. Like I said, he was only 4 or 5 at the time, and we was talking about badges, we were talking about things, and we were talking about how we call things, and it's my name's Thomas. Of course, my name's Thomas McDermott, so that's where the TM came from. Development, of course, it was just a name to throw out. So the big name is TM Development Football Fitness. So that was the thing. So in terms of the fitness side of it, I used to do, like I said, like coaching used to be a release. I used to do loads of running. So I used to do like marathons, I like, even now I get up at 4 o'clock every morning. at the time, I don't do runs now, but a couple of years ago, I used to get up at stupid o'clock in the morning and just go for a run, and that used to like help me get through the day. Do you know what I mean? Like I got something and getting something out of something before I used to go to work, and then I used to pick the kids up from their mums, and then time I got home, do the tea, do the baths, wash the clothes, and it used to be like 9-10 o'clock, and I didn't do nothing for myself. So that little hour before work or something used to be like another little release for me. So I used to be fair, I used to be a very a good runner. So I used to do half marathons and stuff like that. So I used to be in like a little running community. So people used to be like a few of us in. So when they used to put a run on this page, everyone could see how far you run or how fast you run. So when I used to put something else, then someone put something else. So like, I need to beat him now. So it used to be in my head. So, or it used to have like a few likes on it, or people going, "You're quite good at running." So that used to be like, well, I'm going to try and get better at that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So same. So like that used to be like a release as well.
Right, and a competitive nature into football, into TM development, doing it the best you can do, and then I guess you started a team, and then it grew from there.
Yeah.
To where it is now. And can you just give us an idea of how big TM development is now? How many teams? How many players?
Yeah. So at the minute we have under 10 boys. We just started under 8 girls who are they're quite fiery, they're funny. They just had the last couple of weeks. They just had a couple of games getting called off due to the weather, and at training they're in me next saying, "Where's our games? Why are we not playing football?" And they're quite funny. They're quite witty, and they're really good. And then we have the under 10 boys who are really, really good, which we twin boys play for them. We have under 12 girls who are flying. They've just started about just before Christmas. So on a Sunday I used to do like development sessions. I used to do high level sessions. I do fitness sessions, and the amount of girls I used to get from like all over the northwest just to come to these development sessions. So I ended up putting a team together. I told them, you're not going to go in a league at the moment. I'm going to put you in a couple of tournaments, and we're going to do loads of training before I even put you in a league, because we need to find we have a TM philosophy, how we play football. So like I was saying about the individuals, we had a group of girls who don't really know each other, but they were very good individuals, and we basically got them in, changed how the style of football, and we made them from being individuals to team girls, and we ended up playing in a tournament over Christmas on the 27th in a boys tournament, and they got battered because they went back to their old selves, going individual. And I just pulled them all in, saying, if you want to play for TM development, then you're going to have to change your ways, or if you can go and play for someone else. I'm quite brutal. I'm quite strict on how I want to play them, and like the parents need to buy into it. We brought them back. We done another training session. Then we went to play in a best of the Northwest girls tournament, and we came top of the group. We beat a lot of good teams. They played football. We got beat in the final by we scored a goal. Have you ever noticed? Do you know where the goals are, and then you have the wheels?
Yeah.
They've gone through the ball bounce. It's gone over the defender. They've hit the wheel.
Yeah.
And it's bounced back and he scored.
Like it's the post. Yeah. It's not seen
but if you looked on the other side of the pitch, it would have looked like he hit the post. Do you know what I mean? It's how do you know what I mean? And the referee bottled it. Give a goal. We got beat on pens. but that was I wasn't bothered about losing on pens. I was more bothered that we finished top of a group who were meant to be the best teams in the Northwest. And they've only been training for 8 weeks.
Very impressive.
So the under 13s, they're like, that's like me baby. When I first same with the 12s, they came. I think I started with maybe 4 girls, and then it grew and grew. And then at the moment in summer, I had 35 girls coming to a session, an hour session.
Yeah.
Which was just, to me, it was just crazy. So I ended up moving my sessions to an hour and 30 minutes sessions. I ended up getting more girls, so I ended up moving it to 2-hour sessions. And then I end up making the team, and like again I said to him that we started that in March, and I told him that you're not going in the league till September, so we're gonna build you up, we're gonna work, we're gonna learn, we're gonna develop, and we're gonna put into that how we want to play football with that intensity. We made a team out of it, and we didn't put them in an under 13s league, which we should have. I think they're better than that, so we end up putting them in the under 14s league, and at the minute they've played won 11, and they basically beat all the best teams in that league, and it's meant to be a really high level league, and the under 13s beating the under 14s league basically.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah, but like I said, they've played in academy tournaments. The under 12s have been invited to academy tournaments. We was the only grassroots in that tournament. So there was Liverpool, City, Man United, Salford, Wolves, and TM Development. We was the only grassroots team in it, which is, to me, that shows the level what we're at. And we got invited to that. We didn't ask to go into that. We got invited. The 13s have played in 2 academy tournaments and got to the final. Of course, we'd lost the final to Derby, and we lost the final to it was a JPL team called Forza.
Okay.
We lost to them, and then we played a couple of academy teams. We played Crystal Palace. We drove 4.5 hours, and we played. I think it wasn't their academy. It was their ETCs.
Yeah.
Which is it's still academy in my eyes. And we beat them 8-0.
Okay. Now you've got to play the academy.
Yeah. Well, we've asked, and we didn't get an email back. But yeah,
you might not.
Yeah, we don't play in small tournament. We've been invited. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, called the Aces.
No.
Tournament.
Yeah, that's a national tournament. The Aces, yeah. In your league.
So our under 12 girls and our under 13s are being invited to that to play. We've been invited to a 2-day tournament for the one tournament as well. So we've been invited to that. And we're doing good. We're quite humble. We know our levels. We played Liverpool. We played Liverpool Academy last year. So with Liverpool Academy, they go from 12s to under 14s. They don't have a 13s. So last year we played the 12s. We beat them 2-1, and we drew 1-1 with them, which was very good. Then we played them this year. So basically, our 13s played a year up against their 14s. We got smoked. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was a very learning curve. We thought we had a very, very good team, but how they play football, they utilised the pitch. They had 3 internationals as well playing for them. He was very, very good. He moved the ball. Said that our girls were trying to chase the ball like we try and press the team, but they was just passing into channels, playing the triangles, moving, and our girls was running ragged.
Yeah. Maybe a step too far just now, but I'm sure you'll get there. Yeah.
Oh no,
you'll see.
Yeah. Tom, you know, I'm glad that my little girl and my wife aren't awake listening to this, because like I'm known to like maybe have a little glisten in my eyes when we're watching a film or something. You know, when like the scene comes on and you feel your heart going a little bit, and it's like, I hope no one looks at me, because like I might need to go and draw for the Kleenex. And I think the story, like, listen, I love hearing stories, and the story that you shared just about how it all came together for yourself and TM, like the struggles in the beginning to where you are today. I thought that was super powerful, because I just feel like in this day and age right now, especially down south, you can tell us a bit more about north, but the football is just so intense, and it's so crazy, just the focus and dedication. And I feel like sometimes we're missing that side of it. Just like actually, it's a release, like it's a savior for us. You know what I mean? And
that's what I was trying to say. How we play, like, not how we play football. To me, I play football with my heart. I don't like losing. I'm not like a selfish one. I'm not going to mope around. But like, if you watch me on a line, you can see how passionate I am. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack when I'm watching the 13s every game. But like, I each girl, I have a strong connection with each girl, and I try my best to develop them in any way I can. Even on the pitch, even off the pitch, we have people who help to get. Of course, girls are a little bit different to boys, so they have more emotions. They have their own girly things, and we're getting to that age now. So I've brought in 2 people to help me with that kind of thing. Lynn and Helen. One's a psychiatrist, and one's helps and deals with other things. So it's good to have that balance, and I can just concentrate on coaching, and while they look after that kind of side of things as well. But we do a lot of things not on the pitch. Of course, I do one-to-one, so I give out quite a lot of free one-to-ones to some of the girls just to help them try and get a little bit more developed. And I don't want some of the girls to feel, oh, I'm not fitting in, or I'm not at that level. We try and push all our girls and try and help them to get better.
So let me ask you a question. Just based on, what's your focus on developing players? Like, what is the approach? And also, is there a focus on trying to get girls and boys into academies, or is it what's your coaching philosophy?
In terms of development, I don't want. We don't look for superstars. We try and make superstars. We try and develop in that thing. I'd rather have a girl who's okay at football and work with me with the one-to-one, work with me with the fitness side of things, work with me with development or anything what we can do. We give them platforms. We have a really good following on Instagram. The girls all have Instagrams. We don't tell them to have an Instagram. It's up to the parents to make the Instagrams, but we share things on our own socials. We big them up. I always think like every one-to-one I do, I get a picture with that kid, if it's boy or girl, and I'm not sure if you noticed, but every one-to-one I put on my Instagram to share. For them to look at it, or if their friends to look at it, to make them feel good. Of course, some one-to-ones take the money and see you later, see you next week, and not really bothered. But I do other things, and I try and help, or I speak to parents on phones, or I give them a 6-week program from how we want to develop them from this side of things, and how we're going to, in 6 weeks, we're going to develop them this side of things, and that's how we do things. We don't want to, not saying we don't want to bring in any superstars. Of course, if girls want to play for TM, which we do, we have girls who are already coming in and being really good players, but we still try and educate them how we want to play football. And like I said, we're here to develop, and we want to push girls. When I first started coaching, I went to Birmingham, working with Maz Pacheco. Not sure if you heard of her. So she used to play for Aston Villa Women. She's at Everton now. She set up her own company called M3 Football. I went to Birmingham for a week, doing a football camp. I think she had 3 or 4 coaches there at the time. Of course, I'm a Scouser. Going down to Birmingham, the coaches didn't really They didn't really want to help me. They sort of led on to me, but I got a feeling like, why is he coming from Liverpool when we, you know what I mean? I would feel exactly the same thing. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't really get on with them at the time. And the first couple of days, I was very nervous. I was going to a different culture, it was a different culture, and how they play and how they play football. I was sort of thinking that's not football. It's not how I'll play football, and I sort of give my little take on it, and started giving my own philosophy on football. And the 3rd and 4th day, I sort of started getting into it, and then on the 5th day, Maz was there, and I thought, well, if she's there, and I'm gonna have to step on a few toes to get noticed, because of course I enjoyed it. And I was on the train home coming back from Birmingham, and she rang me and asked me to be the director of her company in the space of 5 days, which that gave me a platform. That gave me a window of a lot of talented players in Birmingham in girls football. So we had we must have had about 20 from Villa, 20 from Birmingham, 20 from West Brom, and we end up making an M3 team. We end up taking them to St George's Park. We done a signing on day, and I was more bigger in Birmingham than I was in where I live. I had so many people asking for one-to-one, so I used to get the train down on a Saturday. I used to take my kids with me. Every football camp I used to do, I used to take my kids, and we used to spend the week in a hotel. They used to put me in a hotel. Used to be in the Malmaison as well. So,
hey, Tom, no, sorry to cut you, Tom. You know, the thing I've been thinking for the last since we've started the pod, what am I going to say to you? And the first thing that comes to mind is real, recognize real. I'm looking at Andrew and I'm looking at OC. And the one thing that is apparent is your passion is oozing through this screen, man. Like, I'm listening to you. Like, what would it be like for you to manage our boys in a way? Because the passion, I can just see the energy is fire. And I kind of like what you were saying. I'm of the same. When I'm saying bring it, it's very much bring it on. You were like, yeah, bring on the academies. We'll come down to London. We'll drive 4.5 hours. With what you're developing and what you're seeing in Liverpool, first and foremost, have you had the opportunity? This is why I'm called the bundler, because I'm about to bundle. Have you had the opportunity to play some top London grassroots? If you have, what has been the difference, if any? Let's start with that, and then I'll go with my next question. Go on. Has there been any difference between your lot? Because it sounds like they're top players, but how do we know, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we haven't. And this is why we put our girls in we want to put our girls in the best tournaments, because I believe that we got the best girls in the Northwest. And now we want to push our girls further forward. So we want to, we're willing to travel. We're willing to travel anywhere. We're coming down to London in, when is it? April. We're playing at the Ballers in Kent.
Okay, yeah.
So we're playing in
that's actually there.
Is it? Is that close to you?
Yeah, that is. That's about, for me, that's about 15 minutes.
Is it, yeah? Yes, to come and watch.
Yeah, I'll come down, for real.
Yeah, so we're playing. We got invited to that as well. So we're playing, I think, 4 or 5 teams there in a tournament. So they couldn't believe when they asked us, "Can we go down?" And they didn't even know that we was from Liverpool at the time. And when we said, "Yeah, we're from," it's just like, "So you're really going to come down?" And I was like, "Yeah, we've already booked a hotel. we're not bothered. Our girls are like that. They're willing to travel anyway."
So then my next question is, because I love that, and I do feel, and again, for those listening in, if you're not able to, it doesn't mean that you're not. It's just that, but I do notice that the people who are about this, and we had it in our earlier podcast, we said that if you're really about this football journey, then one of the things you've got to be willing to do is to travel. You know what I'm saying? And I've made it a point to go down south and west and North London, but my thing now is to travel up to Liverpool and Manchester and all those places to see what it's like up there. The question I ask is, a lot of the people we've had talking about the women's game, the girls' game, it sounded like there's a gap between the academy, between your team and the academy. But what we're trying to do in London, or at least what I'm trying to do personally, is I'm trying to bridge that gap. I'm trying to make it that there is no gap. Is that what are you trying to do? Are you trying to show that your girls are so top class that you can compete with the academies? Or are you trying to get them to the level that can leave you and go in?
No, I believe that I don't treat us like an academy, like a grassroots team. I treat us we are academy. How we play, how we train, how we look, how we go to games, how we look as a team, how we turn up. Like we turn up in tracksuits. We have our own bags. We don't look like a academy team. Sorry, we don't look like a grassroots team. When we turn up, you can tell. I always think like if teams look at you and when we turn up, we mean business. Do you know what I mean? When we don't just travel 4 hours just to play football, we go there to win. And I think we have that ability. We've got the players, and it's my job to get them to where they want where they want to go. And we've got a few girls signed for Blackpool and stuff like that. Preston. I have a good relationship with Preston, so they get in contact with me and ask me who are your best girls, and I send them to trials at Preston, which is really good. So like what you said about your question, yeah, we don't really call ourselves grassroots. I believe we are an academy team, and when we play in this Aces, we're not just going to compete, we're going to win as well.
Right. I get, you know what? I asked that question deliberately because that's the vibe I get from you. I don't need to see your girls. I just need to speak to you to know that your team is a serious team. And I'm not just saying that to give you a big head or to give you a pat on the back, but I did say real recognize real. And that's exactly how I would approach it. The one question I would ask you though, and I hope this doesn't, how do you balance? Because obviously the more you win, it's not only good for the girls, it's also good for your brand, clearly. Hence why you're getting the invite. But how do you balance that winning with development? For you, legit question, and you know, I'm putting it out there, but we're just being open and candid. Is it ball at all cost? Is it win at all cost for you? Or is it slightly different? How do you balance winning and development?
No, I don't see winning at all costs. I don't like that approach. There's teams out there who just want to win tournaments. Look at me. I've won a tournament on Instagram, and if we win a tournament, we win a tournament. It's all about development in that tournament, how we grow in a team. And the way, of course, the under-13s are flying at the minute, but I always bring them back down. I always say you gotta have consistency. You can't just, of course, you're winning games, but we've won a couple of scrappy games. We played bottom of the league and we only beat them 3-2. So you know what I mean? You gotta have the balance, and we can go and beat teams 8-0, but some of these grassroots pitches, what we've been playing on, have been absolutely shocking as well. So our girls are used to playing football, but some of our games have been dog games. They've been fighting, do you know what I mean? And they've been wars. Like our girls like a tackle as well. So they've gone from playing the academy football style of football to fighting style of football, and win, like you said, win at all costs. You know what I mean? They've had to, some games they've had to really dug deep and get the win, and that's they've won by heart. Do you know what I mean? These are 12s playing 14. So some of these girls are playing 2 years up. I've got a girl called Isla. She's under 12s. She's only 11 and she's playing in the under 14s league.
Yowzers.
Not to say she's got a lot to learn, and I speak to her mum and dad very, very well. But I see things like you see things. I'm opinionated as well, so I think she's one of the best girls in the Northwest for her age. But she still needs a lot to learn as well, and her parents would say that. Isla would say that as well. But she's 11 and she'll run through a train. She's ridiculous. Like this girl's flying up in the air and she's just trying to win that ball.
And she's not been picked up yet.
She's at I've sent her to Preston. She's just got into Preston. She had trials for 4 weeks and she's got in. But yeah, no one snapped it up, and I can't believe no one snapped it up. She scored. we played City in a tournament. We drew 1-1 with City, and the coaches was fuming because she was kicking their players, she was elbowing them, she was pushing them on the floor, because she's got that desire to win that ball, and she scored a rocket as well. But no, she didn't get picked up. We played a few of the teams, and no one picked her up. And now Preston have got her now, which is really good. She plays district football. She plays in the boys' league, and she plays for the under-12s now. She plays for the under-13s. She's incredible.
Wow. No, I mean, Tom, I think keep up the good work that you're doing over there, man, because I love it. And what you're doing is you're putting the North on the map, even for us. You know, one of the things has been our ambition is to make sure that we're linking with other parts of the country. But, you know, just listening to you, I want to see your team in action. When you guys are in London, I'm definitely going to see. I think also there's something about wanting to. The tournaments is nice, but it's only 10 minutes, 15-minute games. Sometimes, you know, maybe when you're down, I would love to, arrange with, I think it's Ballon d'Or. Is it Ballon d'Or, Andrew OC, that had a girls' team?
Yeah,
Come and play Ballon d'Or, and you just have a full-on 60-minute match. Do you know what I mean? Down there, since you're going to be down there anyway.
I think they followed me the other day. Is that Ballon d'Or?
Ballon d'Or, yeah, they're down here, so they're a top team. Yeah,
I think he followed me yesterday.
Yeah, mate. Real recognize real, innit? We're now connecting the big dogs with the big dogs.
But to be fair, since like I know the power of social media, like the amount of things I've had in my inboxes through, like we signed. Have you heard of True Socks?
I think I've heard. Yeah.
So like the True Socks. A lot of the Premiership players wear like the socks, and they got in contact with us and asked us could they sponsor us. And then we've had so many things, like even myself, like people sending me stuff, and like I haven't even got that many. I've got like, I think 6,000 followers, just under 6,000 followers. So I haven't got followers like some of the people out there. But even for a small club, we get asked to go everywhere, which is just absolutely insane to me. From like how I started to where it is now, it's. I wish I'd done it 10 years before that.
Yeah, for real. Well, you're doing something right, and they say delay is not denial, mate. So you started and you're on that way, and you're doing a really fantastic job, bro. And I feel like, I really love what you're doing. I guess my final question, I'll do my final question because I could go on all night. The women's game, you're obviously heavily invested in it. Do you see the gap between the women's game and the men's game closing up? Do you see it catching up? Obviously, there's a level of investment that's in the boys' game that's not so much in the girls, and we've had other people talk about the fact that, you know, it's not really quite there. So I guess two questions is, do you see the gap closing, and what's the level of investment like up north, even from the academies, from what you're aware of in terms of the women's game and how they're trying to push through, you know, the next crop of lionesses?
The gap is clear, isn't it, to all to see. In terms of the growth in the women's football, it's massive, and I think if it's not, I think like at the moment in sports, I think there's three things flying at the moment. Is, of course, boys football will always fly. Girls football is flying, and of course the other one is paddle. And I think girls football is going at a rapid speed. The amount of girls playing in boys leagues is ridiculous. especially in the north. I'm not sure what it's like down south, but in terms of in Liverpool, all the good girls teams are playing in boys leagues.
Yeah.
And they're doing really, really well. Our girls played in a boys summer league and got to the final of it. So there's always going to be that physicality. Of course, boys are going to be more physical. They're going to be a lot faster. But I think girls football just needs to be going at their own speed. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not one of saying that about the getting involved in all that wages kind of thing, but at the end of the day, I'm sure I heard a thing about years and years ago that there was in girls football used to be like 60,000 fans. I don't know when it was, but I know someone was talking to me about something happened years ago, but it used to be girls football used to be absolutely huge or something, and then it got stopped. So I don't know the politics of it all, but I did know about that. But in terms of how its development, the academies are telling. So basically, the girls, the Liverpool, just say like Liverpool, they're under 14s academy and they're in the JPL boys league, and they're doing really well. So in terms of girls football, they're competing with the boys, but of course, when it comes to, I think when it comes to like 16, 17, or what you're talking about, when it comes into men, then you see the difference. But in terms of kids younger age, I don't see there's much difference. Of course, in terms of like lower level grassroots, but in terms of like under 10s, there's some very, very good girls at under 10s. But yeah, that's how I see it anyway.
Yeah, no, fair. Second coach of girls in a matter of weeks that said something similar in terms of the level of top girls football against maybe Div 2, 3 boys football of the same age. When I put it out there, he got questioned what he meant by that. But it sounds like the girls' game is rapidly improving week on week, year on year, month on month. Obviously, months come before year, I know that. But it sounds like the gap is closing at that age group. So who knows, in 5 years' time, we may well see girls competing against boys at a level which is akin to equal at the early ages. But obviously once puberty comes in, there's just physical differences. The gap can't be bridged at that point, unfortunately. So
no, I think we like playing boys. We played a lot of boys teams, and we beat a lot of boys teams, and boys get frustrated because they're getting tackled by girls. Do you know what I mean? And it got to a point where we sort of moved away from playing boys because our girls was getting hit. Of course, you're gonna get the odd lad who's gonna put one on the girls.
Yeah.
Of course, you know what I mean. The girls, like I said before, girls have more emotions than lads, and I sort of took the girls away from it, and it was a good learning curve, and I probably dabble into playing boys again, but I don't want to lose their confidence by playing boys, because you're going to play boys and they're going to be really, really good. But I felt when we did play boys, we lost a little bit of confidence. They still competed, they still put a shift in, they still battled with them, but I think it took a lot out of my girls when he played boys. And he didn't.
Because there's puberty now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and he did. I felt like that he didn't develop the way they do develop when he play girls at their own age and their own development.
Yeah, fair enough. So talk to us about your boys' team, your son's team. You mentioned they were flying, they were doing well, and then they got a bit decimated. Do you want to talk us through that situation and where that leaves you now and what the next steps are with that?
Yeah, so last year they had a really good manager. He was quite blunt with them. How he played football was a little bit how I play, but he sort of, pardon me, he addressed things a little bit different the way I would address talking to kids on the line, and he was not saying he was a bit of abusive, but some of the way how I would coach a kid would be a little bit different. I'm very strict, but I'm also an arm over the shoulder kind of coach as well. Do you know what I mean? His way was very blunt, and some kids get it. I get how he meant. Of course, how I used to play football and how my dad used to speak to me a little bit, but some kids don't get that. Some kids find that a little bit intense, or parents might find that why is he speaking to my son like that, or do you know what I mean? And he done it was good. I liked him. We had a really good team. We played a few academy teams. We played like United and stuff like that. We had 3 Liverpool kids, Theo, Jasper. Theo's at Liverpool Academy now. I think he's in Germany at the minute. He's playing in a tournament. Jasper has been in and out of Liverpool. He's been at Everton. We had Regan, who's at Everton. And we used to have scouts. We used to have Liverpool, United, City, Everton all watching our games on a Saturday morning, which used to be mental. Everton have been watching my son quite a while. They was watching him for 6 months. And I'm one of them. I know he's at under 10s. I'm not sure because he's a twin, but he's quite small. Right. He's not like the bigger lads. But what he has, shot stopping wise, it's very hard to get past him. He plays like a sweeper, so he stands on the halfway line, which is just nuts. So he's like, he hurt himself yesterday, but he's a lunatic. He's absolute loon. He
needs to be.
He's always played it. So of course, like I said, I always see things a lot different to other people. People might see some different to me, but how I felt it, that he played as a sweeper when he was under 5s, under 6s, under 7s. So I used to say to him, you're only going to get one kid who's going to lob you. So if any balls come over the top, just deal with it. If you've got to kick it out, kick it out. But if you've got the confidence, get the ball down and pass the ball. So he's always done that. But now he's just a lunatic. He loves to tackle. He's nothing in goal. But like a little bit about Ellis, he's like a baby. So like when he doesn't play football, me and my wife could be on the couch, he'd be on the other side, and he's jealous because he wants to cuddle off his dad.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't like my wife getting involved, getting in, and he's like that. Bobby, my other son, is like, do you know when you have like a class clown?
Yeah.
He's like he always goes, all right, lad. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm your dad, but he goes, all right, lads. You know what I mean? He's just like trying to be dead funny. And yeah, so like Ellis is like, he's like a baby on the couch, but like soon as he puts his goalie gloves on, he's just an absolute lunatic. He's unbelievable. Like he's sort of in between. So I think he's a very, very grassroots player, but he's just missing that academy, and he's not far away from it. I'm not one of them parents who go and chases things. If they want him, they want him. If they don't, they don't. He'll just carry on playing his football the way he is, and I just absolutely love watching him. So the under-10s at the moment are just going through like a little bit of a transition. We lost Joshua. He's gone to United. Theo's gone to Liverpool. Regan's at Everton. Jasper's in and out of Liverpool and Everton. We went to Fiorentina. When did we go there? December. This December, we played in a tournament against some of the Spanish teams. We done really well. They beat 2 academy teams while we was there, but we was playing 2 years up as well. Because the Spanish would do their team, they do it. We do by under 10, under 11s. They do it by the year. So when we was there, we was too young to. So we ended up playing under 12s. So we're pretty much going into under 11s, but they was under 12s at the time, and we beat 2 Spanish teams.
Brilliant. So onwards and upwards for TM development. And I saw on your page, Alan Stubbs, train with Alan Stubbs. How did that come about? What's the story there?
So, of course, I used to be a ground worker working for my dad, and I used to enjoy it. It was really good, but it wasn't for me. I'd done it for 5 years. Like I said, with me dark times a couple of years ago, I ended up my dad ended up helping me out and got me a job where it used to pay a lot more money than the way I was. So I was a ground worker for a bit, but it just wasn't for me, and my coaching was getting better. I was getting more out there, and I ended up applying for a job at a private school at Scarisbrick Hall. It's in Scarisbrick, near Ormskirk, near Southport. Right. So what I do there now, so I do one-to-ones every day. So Monday to Friday, I have a list of kids who I pull out of classes to do one-to-ones with them. Nice. Of course, I can't pull them out when they're doing like maths, English, science, the main subjects. Of course, I don't pull them out then, but any other subjects we're allowed to pull them out to do a one-to-one sessions with them. So Alan's my boss. He's like the head of football there. Nice. He's an unbelievable boss. Being around someone like him is how, of course, he's been at the top level. He's managed at the top level. He's won the Scottish Cup. I think it was Hibs. I think it was in Scotland. I do have he talks. Of course, he talks with Everton, and his guidance is making me a better coach. Listen to his stories. Some very, very funny stories of when he used to play football, going on tours, doing stuff with Everton, and he's a proper lad's lad. He's really good. He's helped me so much, not just in school, but he's a very good friend out of school as well. We have another lad called Callum, who's at Everton. Who's at Everton as well. He went through the academy and stuff like that. He's a coach there who's a proper top lad as well. So we just got talking once, and we sort of thought, well, we have Alan, who's done it all. We have Callum, who's part of the Everton academy, and of course I run girls academy. So we've sort of just set up a company called Cat One. It's called basically Category 1 coaching. Yeah. So of course when you're at academy, you when you get to that level, you sort of get a category go to Cassie, stuff like that. So we just started. We done our first little get together over Christmas. We put it out there. We had over 35 kids on our first session. Really good. And we don't know what we want. We're just putting things out there. We're talking. We've all got similar backgrounds in different areas. Of course, mine with girls, Callum's with the younger lads, and Alan's basically. Do you know what I mean? He's seen, done it, wore the t-shirt kind of thing. So we're going to be setting up a company where we're going to help sort of more the technical side of football. Of course, when kids go to academies, there's a lot of 1v1s, there's things, but they don't really work on technical things, like little things like receiving, like of course receiving on the back foot, but like how you would position yourself in that. But when they do go to these academies, they don't really teach that kind of thing. So what we're trying to do is that, go to Everton and play for Everton, do the training at Everton, but you can come to Cat 1 and we can learn the tech. We can show you the little bit of the technical side of thing of football as well. So that's the avenue what we're going to go down, and we're going to speak to clubs and ask them to invite. Well, we're going to, if they want to bring some of their kids to us, and we will learn them a few little things as well. So which is going to help them develop a lot better, because when you notice kids getting released from academies, they say though you didn't have that technical side of what another kid has, but like what they don't really explain what technical side of things they're missing. But of course we know what we can help them. We can speak to parents. We can ask Everton, okay, why didn't he get in, and does he want to come to us, and do you want to come and look at him in another 8 weeks, and we can work on him. Or if he needs help in this technical side of things, they can come to us. We can learn, we can help them, we can develop them, and then it's a win-win situation, not just for us, but for the child, and of course it's going to be beneficial for Everton as well, or any other big names.
Perfect. So shout out to Cat 1, newly formed, helping people. Shout out to TM Development. And Tom, you've seen the show before, so you know this question, you know it's coming, and you know how you got to answer it now. So before I ask this question, you've got to help with the answer. And the question is, you've been on the show, you've listened to the show. Who should we get on the show that we haven't had on the show? And before you answer that, you've got to help us get that person on the show.
Okay. Obvious one is Alan Stubbs, isn't it?
That's the answer. That is the correct answer.
and he would. He really would. He's one of them people. He likes helping people. And I'll speak to him. Yeah, he's busy. He does a lot of podcasts, by the way. Of course he does.
But he's never done this one.
No. But yeah, I'll speak to him. I'll make sure he gets on. But in terms of, I think it'd be good for you to get a female player on, maybe ex-player or current player.
Current player would be good. We've had an ex-player. Or ex-players.
Okay,
we've had 2 ex-players actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let me see if I can speak to someone, please.
That'd be good. You've got a lot of rich talent up there. So
yeah, definitely. But I just want to thank you for getting in touch. Like, for you to get in touch with me, it's unbelievable. And I really appreciate it. And whatever I can do to promote you or anything like that, I'd love to come on the show again, especially the 100th one. Let's get you to good as well. But I just want to thank you so much. It's my first ever one, and to be fair, it's the first time I've ever spoke about a few things openly. Of course, I've spoken to me close friends and family, and when I spoke to you over Texas, like I told you, like the message I sent you brought back memories, and it was emotional just even reaching out back to you about how I started TM development. So for me to come on this show and talk about it, I hope if I've helped someone who's maybe gone through a little thing I've gone through, because if I didn't speak out, or if I didn't talk to someone about the situation I was going through, I could have just gone down a different path, or I could have done whatever. But I reached out. I spoke to people who could help me, especially my wife. I owe her so much. My twin boys. I've got 4 boys now, so I've got Casey and Carter now. So I've got 4 lads. Nice. Casey's a lunatic as well, so he's 4, and then I've got Carter who's 7 months. So I'm in a really, really good place at the moment, but I wasn't in a good place years ago. And if people can relate on what I've spoken tonight, or if they ever want to talk or message me, do you know what I mean, and talk about it, I don't mind speaking out and talking to people about it as well.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you being vulnerable, giving us an exclusive as well. As OC touched on, it's really powerful. It will help people. It will definitely help people 100%. I just want to shout out your wife again. She sounds like an amazing woman, and
she is.
She's been by your side and helped you every step of the way, and I'm sure you help her in everything she does as well. And it sounds like an amazing union. And now there's 4 boys that you're busy with, so good luck with that and everything else you're doing. Listen, it's been amazing, it's been emotional, it's been entertaining, it's been insightful, it's been a great conversation. It's good to have the Liverpool voice and accent on our show. Shout out to the Northwest as well.
Thank you.
We've had somebody from Manchester, but not a Mancunian, so we need to sort that out. And we're going to get Alan Stubbs on, and we're going to get a current female footballer on, according to Tom. So that will be brilliant. So listen, guys, you know what to do if you're still locked in. I'm going to need you to subscribe now. I'm not going to leave it in your hands. I'm going to ask you very explicitly to please subscribe. I'm going to give you a second to do that. Done it yet? I'm waiting. Thank you. Can you hit the notification? I don't know where these things are. Can you leave us a like, and please leave a comment? And if you're listening on the audio feed, please leave a review, give us a follow, and give us a 5-star rating. Guys, he's been Tom McDermott of TM Development and newly formed Cat One. We've been Ball at All Cost, and we are out.
Thank you.